Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 6, episode 23, titled All Good Things, air date May 14th, 2003, and the synopsis is
The year is 2008. After 5 years, the gang returns to Capeside for a reunion and wedding after taking different paths in life. Joey is a book editor living in New York with her current boyfriend Chris. Dawson lives in Hollywood and is an executive producer of the TV series The Creek. Pacey is now the manager to the reopened restaurant The Ice House, but still continues his lifestyle of dating older and married women. Jack is now a teacher at Capeside High and is dating Doug, who hasn't come out yet. And Jen lives in New York with Grams and runs an art gallery in Soho and is now the mother of a baby girl. When suddenly Jen faints and is taken to the hospital where Grams reveals that she is suffering from a lethal heart condition.
and over. Well, they put a lot in the synopsis.
Yeah.
We don't like it.
And then we start with the scene from Dawson's show.
Oh my god. Okay, Cynthia. I think it would have taken it better if we didn't just watch him try to make the damn show or his movie of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I know other shows may create their show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't shove it down our throats every chance they get. Do you know what I mean? It might be once they show or once they, say things they've said in the past, and I know we'll get there with shows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can think of things like sayings that they say. The reason why it doesn't annoy me is because it fits with normal things they say. But this one, he's constantly trying to recreate him and Joey, and it's annoying. And last episode, we just saw him trying to recreate this stupid thing of them for his movie. And then now this episode, here's the TV show. It's like, oh my God, if they would have separated the movie and his TV show.
Well, they do with the 5-year jump.
I know, but it's this next episode.
Well, they don't have many episodes to work
I
with.
know, but they shouldn't have done that. Because I don't need to see the dates. And the thing is, it's not a different show. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just watched the whole last episode, of him trying to recreate them in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're recreating the TV show. It's like, I can't take any more of this. If they would have separated it, it would have felt better, probably. But the fact that it was back-to-back episodes of the same thing that he's tried to recreate 10 different times, it's annoying. I didn't need to see it. And again, it's one thing to hear it. I didn't need to see it again because we just saw it last episode. I didn't need to see different people playing them. I just didn't need to see it again. To me, it was just stupid. I'm like, again, if there was a gap between the last episode and this one, it would have been better because I wouldn't have to rewatch them 20 different times.
Well, they could have done that maybe if they didn't have the Joey and Pacey stuck in the store episode because that was a filler.
No, it was not a filler.
Saying, if you wanted an episode in between, that would be the only way to do it, is to take one that was a filler. Maybe, because did they plan on having a 7th season of the show? I was going to say, it seems like they did kind of put everything at the last second as if they didn't know.
No, the actors said at their 20-year reunion, they said that they knew going into season 6 that it was their last.
Oh.
So, but the thing is, the difference is that all season 6, it was the same writers, right? Season 6, episode 23 and 24, were the finale, basically. They ended up getting the creator back to write these 2 episodes. So he had no clue what season 6 was.
Unless he just skimmed the scripts or had somebody explain to him.
And, well, because he even said that there was an interview that I saw that he said he didn't care how much Pacey and Joey were together in season 6. That wasn't the end game.
Right.
And so, and I'm like, but you can't do that. If you are leading season 6 up that way, you can't just, oh, this is how it's going to go. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Would it have made sense if Dawson and Joey ended up? It's like, it feels weird if they... Well, and I just want to say, for everyone listening, we're recording this in one day, the finale, 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm not, because I know you've never seen the show, so I'm not giving you spoilers because you've already seen it.
Right.
As in the ending when I brought up Dawson and Joey.
Yeah.
So I don't, because viewers might say, Brittany, she hasn't seen it. But you have, because we're recording both of them back to back. Because it's only fair to do.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that I don't know how you could just be like, all season 6, you lead up to like one couple, and then it's like, bye. I mean, they haven't even spoken all season 6. So, I don't know. But again, I just didn't like the back-to-back story. And the other thing is, they keep showing the same story of Dawson and Joey for his movies. He keeps recreating the bed scene. How many times? What you mean is, in your friendship, there was nothing else.
I thought it was not only the movie they showed.
Well, I mean, they just only keep...
because they're in his bedroom when she asks, he asked her who does she have feelings for Peter or whatever his name is.
She said Peter.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like he just always repeats the same scenes. And it's like, how many times do we have to hear this? Like, there was nothing else in your friendship and relationship that you could pull out. Is he ever going to do a episode where he invades her privacy?
Well, I thought they just chose those scenes because it was kind of like leading up to like the real life characters, like who Joey will actually end up with. So it's like hinting at it.
So you thought that was hinting?
Yeah, like because Joey is trying to make the decision in real life, so it's like she's kind of watching herself figure it out.
Well, see, and I remember like the creator saying he was writing this as the end of Dawson and Joey, as in them. And I just wonder at what point did he switch it?
Right.
Because he was writing it. When he was writing this, it was Dawson and Joey Endgame. So I just wonder what point did he get to in the writing that he changed it?
Right.
Because I remember he said there was a point that he was like, no, he's going to put those two. And I just wonder when.
Yeah, it makes sense that he wanted Joey and...
No.
No, let me finish. Yeah, he wanted Dawson and Joey to end up together because we know now that he kind of based Dawson on himself.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he had Joey in his life as well. Maybe same circumstance that maybe didn't end up the way he wanted, so he wanted at least to end up in the show. So just like some alternate reality that they could exist. So I think that's why he wanted that too for the show.
Yeah. You know what's funny? He said his mom never forgave him for putting Pacey and Joey together.
That's funny.
Oh my god. Could you see like your mom like so invested in something you created?
No, not really.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I just didn't need to see the actual. And okay, here's the thing too. When it's the finale, I don't want to see random actors playing the characters. I want to see the characters. It's the last 42 minutes you will see them together on screen, right? I don't want to see a bunch of people I don't know playing them. I want to see them. Okay, I barely want to see them, but I want to see them over. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you think of your favorite show, you want to see them. You don't want to see people playing them, wasting the 42 minutes. I just want to see them as themselves, like as the characters. I don't want to see people. I don't want to see a different Jen. I don't want to see a different Pacey. I don't want to see a different Dawson. I want to see them. I don't care about the movie. You can tell me it's the #1 show. You know, because they did the posters. Great. But I don't need to see the scenes of it.
I think it just would have been confusing if they used the actual actors in the show too.
What do you mean?
Inside the show.
No.
Wait, what are you talking about?
No, like, I don't want to see, like, in the show, there was a Dawson and a Sam, or,
Yeah,
but I'm saying I don't want to see that. I want to see Dawson and Joey. I don't, as in they're wasting screen time of our 5 characters that we have loved. Well, but I don't want to see people playing them.
Okay, yeah, I didn't mind it.
I would rather use that 42 minutes and end it with watching them for 42 minutes. The 5. I don't care to see people playing them.
Okay.
Do you get it now?
Yeah, but I liked how Dawson was changing the scenes anyhow to see like if he would stick to the truth or what he would have wished had gone his way, and that's what he kind of did. So.
Yeah. I'm also not interested in Dawson's story.
Yeah, well, Chris agrees.
Oh my god.
Because he doesn't like the show. I mean, I get it because it's about his girlfriend's childhood, so that's awkward for him to watch. Yeah.
Cynthia,
What?
I don't think Chris knows that's Joey's life. Because he said, "Why are you so invested in it?" And it's like, because it's her life, but I don't think she said that it's her life. Because he is just like, it's finally over. Or no, he said, thank God it's over. Oh my God. And I was like, I'm actually on Chris's side. Like, I don't even like the guy. I don't know the guy. I don't like the guy. But I was just like, I'm with you. Thank God it's over too. But, no, because she was all like interested in it. And like, then he was like, oh, like, why are you so invested? And then it was just weird. And I was like, I don't think he knows that that's her life. So, Cynthia, I have a question. If somebody created a show based on you, like you're a part of it,
Yeah.
would you tell the person that you're with that this show is about me or this movie's about me?
I don't know. I feel like they could figure it out. They watched enough episodes.
I don't really know how much Chris watches.
Right.
He probably just comes in and out of the room. It's not like he's sitting there actually watching. But I don't know. Like that'd be something, especially if there's something in there that you don't ever want somebody to know.
Right.
I'd be like, that's not me.
Yeah. Well, I think that Dawson would run by, everybody before he actually does something.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I would be like, that's the thing is, like, I have to watch the whole thing first and be like, okay, now I'll tell you if it's me or not.
Yeah, because, like, I can imagine if, like, it was Eddie that was watching, I could figure out really quick that it's about her.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that knows them will be like, obviously that's them.
Yeah.
And anybody in school, too, they'll be like, well, obviously that's the group. But just anybody in their lives, like, how much would you just run around? Plus, but then I would feel like people would think, like, you're being, what's the word?
Self-absorbed.
Yeah, like, oh, you think this is about you, or why do you keep saying it's about you? But it's like, because it is. So I don't know, I probably just wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
So I think that's how Joey is. She's just like, like she knows it's about her. They know it's about her. So I think she's just like, okay. But wouldn't it be so weird to like have something like a movie or a TV show about you?
Yeah.
And how is it Dawson remembers everything?
Yeah, well, I mean, he remembered his room by detail when he was 15, so.
Well, he clearly remembers it.
Maybe he has.
5 years after this, too, remember? Because
Yeah.
even this is what, 5 years later, you said? And
So
he still created the same bedroom.
Yeah, like 10 years later now.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a photographic memory. Who knows?
Something. Because I'm just like, how do you remember every detail?
But I did like how Chris said to Joey that every Wednesday at 8 p.m. she enters a supernatural portal of teen.
Oh, I know. I almost wrote supernatural down because I knew you'd say something.
No, I'm talking about the every Wednesday part because that's the day that the show actually aired on WB. Was on Wednesdays. It was probably 8 o'clock too, but I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Chris even starts kind of asking Joey about the show, like, will, Sam choose Colby or Edie? And
Okay, did you like the name?
no,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why was Colby like not similar to Dawson's name?
I don't know. I guess he just maybe didn't want them to be similar. Maybe. I mean,
Because
it's kind of a little closer with the P, but
that's what I'm saying. And also, my other thing was he used Sam again, the name.
again,
He used it back when Abby was playing in the movie.
I thought she was playing Jen.
No, she was, but that movie, the girl that was Joey was Sam. It wasn't Joey the name; it was Sam the name, the actor or the
Oh,
character.
maybe he liked it. It made sense too because Sam can be a girl or a boy name too. So like
Samantha.
Joey. Yeah, no, Sam, just alone Sam, like Joey. So
Josephine.
yeah, so that makes sense to me, just not Colby.
But yeah, I was just like, oh, he's still using the name Sam. I don't know where the hell he got Petey from.
Mm-hmm.
And Colby, I was like, that's not even close to Dawson. It should have been a D. How about Dork?
Oh yeah, because Chris did say that Joey sounded like the non-committal character of Sam. So yeah, he doesn't know.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, he starts picking it up a little bit.
It's like, because then she goes, oh, am I like Sam? It's like, so you haven't told him.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Because even after they kissed, she thought about it and she's like, wait, you think I really sound like her? So yeah.
Like.
I guess he doesn't know her well enough to figure it out.
No, but Joey, of course she's going to sound like you. She is you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God. But you know what's funny is like, it's like that's kind of what Dawson thinks of you. Another reason to not choose him.
Right. I mean, maybe he probably did exaggerate too, just for the sake of the TV.
You think he exaggerated it?
No, I'm just saying, like, at some point or something.
Yeah, but I don't really think he exaggerated when it was Joey. Probably with himself. He probably made sure Colby was like this really cool, guy that you'd pick when in real life you wouldn't pick Dawson.
Right. And then, so after the theme song, we come back.
Oh, well, we do find out in that opening scene, if you didn't read the synopsis, we find out Joey's a writer.
Yep.
I was like, oh, so Joey's a writer.
Oh, yeah.
So she's not an artist. She's not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was like, oh. Or no, she's like an editor, kind of.
Yeah,
editor, yeah. Not a writer, but an editor.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, weird.
Right. So I don't know how she jumped from writing to that. But
I know, because that was my thing was, for 2 years, didn't we have to listen to how she is a writer?
Mm-hmm.
And now, since she's an editor.
Yeah, so now artist, writer, editor, just kind of going around.
I was like, okay, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this was news to me.
Yeah, that's how she met Chris, because she had to edit one of his things, like his book, I guess, or something. We don't know what book, but. And then after the theme song, Dawson's walking with his assistant, going over plot lines, including the Jack character coming out. And apparently the actor didn't even know that was going to happen. So I wonder if that means that the actor who did play Jack in the show, like that plot line was made at the last second as well. And then they talk on about who Sam should end up with in the season cliffhanger. And Dawson thinks that they're onto something, but then he leaves the room because that was just the writers talking before he walked in.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I did like watching Dawson in his element
Mm-hmm.
in LA.
Yeah.
Did I ever think he'd get there? No. But it was nice to see him outside of Capeside and outside the group and like seeing how he is living day to day. Because remember, I was like, he's going to struggle. Because he's always had this little clique, whatever, in Capeside that always kind of told him he was great. And it's like, well, what's he going to do? And it's like, well, apparently 5 years. And apparently only 5 years later, has a successful TV show. How often does that happen?
Right.
Because he's, 25 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very rare to be that young.
Can I just say, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think the OC creator was 26 when he started the OC. And he was the youngest creator.
WB.
I don't know if it was just WB, or if it was in general.
Just teen drama show.
Well, again, I don't know if it was just teen drama or if it was all, because he was 26. Like, most people aren't 26 writing a show.
Yeah, well, I know a couple of guys who were about that age when they wrote a Nickelodeon cartoon series. But
yeah, but when was your little cartoon series?
2005.
I know, but the OC came out in 2003.
Okay.
So he would have been the youngest at that point.
Right.
But, and again, that's rare. So that's why I'm just saying Dawson being 25 and having a hit.
Yeah.
That, again, that's not it.
It's kind of almost 1 million.
Yeah. So I'm just like, it just doesn't make any sense. That's all I'm saying. And again,
that just means his movie was a success, and then the network wanted to pick it up for a series to kind of expand it and flesh it out.
And by the way, I'm not saying that Dawson's show and the OC are anything alike, because I'm gonna say the OC is 10 times better than this.
Right. I can't say anything because I haven't seen it. Well, I just liked the first episode, but that was it.
Well, I mean, the pilot just brings you right in. I'm like, I want more.
For me.
Huh?
They actually did it for me.
What?
Yeah. I mean, there was 2 characters I was interested in.
Two characters.
The first main guy, and then what's his name that plays Link in Grey's Anatomy?
Him.
That plays the...
Wait, you were interested in him?
Yeah, because I already knew him, so that's what really got my interest the most. I mean, I know what's her name as well. Mishta? Help me.
Misha?
Yes, Barton. Like I said, I don't know her. I'm not good with names.
Well, I didn't like Marissa, okay?
Yeah, that's what you said, yeah.
And I got nothing against Misha. I just didn't like Marissa.
Okay. Well, that's really close to it.
I know. Isn't that weird? Well, I cannot believe you did not like the pilot.
Oh, sometimes when I watch a pilot again after some time, I can get into it.
Because the pilot, I just wanted more.
It seems slow to me.
What? Okay, compared to Dawson's Creek? Oh, no.
Well, I don't know. It did have some interest. I was already kind of hooked to Dawson and Joey's because it reminded me of my own relationship with that when I was that age. So.
Well, when did you watch the OC?
I don't know, 2 years ago maybe. So like I said, it's been a while. So if I come back to it after some time, I can probably get into it. I've done that before with other shows.
Because I'm sorry, but when I watched this pilot, I was like, it was so bad. So bad. Why, you had a boy that spent the night in your room, or you spent the night in his?
No, I'm talking about the friendship of it.
Well, you said there was you related to Dawson and Joey. I'm just trying to pinpoint.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, the friendship of it all, Brittany.
Oh, but you didn't have sleepovers?
No, that never crossed my mind because he was a boy. My parents got nervous one time when we were alone at the house and the power went out and they were gone somewhere and it was thundering.
Cynthia was going to do something bad. Oh my god.
Nothing was ever going to happen. Even my grandma told him.
Well, at least your grandma was on your side.
Because I was 14. I think he was 13 or something like that.
8 years older?
You didn't know that?
No!
He was born in 95.
Oh.
But then we got held back, so we were only a grade apart, but...
Oh, I didn't even know you were a grade apart.
Wow, Brittany.
I'm sorry. I wasn't around your friend. I didn't know how old your friend was. I thought you were the same age.
No. And everybody always thought he was actually older than me, but no.
I know, I kind of thought that too.
No.
I thought he was either older than you or the same age as you. I didn't think he was younger.
Mm-mm.
Girl, you're going after someone younger? Damn.
It was not even 2 years. He made me like actually count it out. It's a year and 5 months younger. Because before I said 2 years, he's like, no, it's not that much. So now I forever remember the age gap.
Cynthia's a cougar.
Brittany, I knew exactly why that was never going to happen. And you're still accusing me about it.
Well, it's fun.
That's why I don't tell you anything about my guy friends. Because he always do this with every single one.
Everyone, I only know but one.
Exactly. So I'm not going to tell you about any of the other ones I've had.
Well, it's only because I thought you liked him.
No.
So that was the only reason why.
Mm-mm.
So you really didn't like him?
No.
Okay.
Because I knew nothing was going to ever happen.
Well, that doesn't mean, just because you know nothing's going to happen doesn't mean you don't like them.
No.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, but no.
Okay, so you had a Dawson and Joey, but you were just platonic.
Yeah, like Jen and Jack.
Okay.
Minus what they almost said a lot.
I was going to say, I think they went a little step.
No.
Trying to go a little step further.
No.
Hey, when the room was dark.
No.
I know what your parents thought.
Mm-hmm. I know what they did too, but I guess not even was ever going to happen.
It's a good thing they didn't watch that episode.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have been like, see, it could happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but speaking of people, apparently Dawson had a dinner with Rebecca, but he wanted to postpone it.
He's too busy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess he might have had another girlfriend he didn't mention, but
I feel like that was his girlfriend, but you know,
she wasn't really important to him.
No. Natasha wasn't important either.
Right.
Cheated on her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also I don't even know why Dawson is even like thinking of. Well, the first thing is Dawson is not the person that can have just dates with girls or women. He has to be in a relationship with them. And so obviously he's probably in a relationship with this one. But I just feel like Dawson is too busy trying to get his show going.
Yeah.
Well, you just now that it's a success, you got to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to actually work and keep it going. So you can't just be like, "Oh, it's good. I can walk away." And so I just don't think he has time for a relationship.
Right.
But he probably should think about that. How come these people don't break up with anybody on the show?
I don't know.
Because again, he's still thinking of like Joey, but who's this girl? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think he would have common sense given the fact that what happened with Natasha.
Right.
Like, would you redo the same thing that almost ruined your friendship?
Yeah.
No. So, but remember, Dawson blamed Joey for this. He never learned from it like others would have.
Yeah. And then,
oh, is this where we get to Jack?
Yeah.
Yay!
So he's pulled over by Doug.
Oh my God. Cynthia. Jack trying to get out of a speeding ticket.
Right.
Was so funny. And Doug's like trying to bribe a sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
Or a cop or whatever you said.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then they kissed.
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia, what did you think when they kissed? Because, I knew about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That these two are going to end up together. So every time you would say, well, Doug probably isn't gay. And I'm like, I just would have to go along with it. Because whenever Pacey would say something, you're like, and I'm just like, will he?
No, I was just saying that Pacey's trying to push him like that by bringing it up every single time.
But I was just like, he is. Like, he ends up, like, I know who he ends up with, so I'm just like, it's not too far from the truth.
Right. But irony about this, too, because I glanced at the title of it, when I was looking for clips one time to post on our social media, it just popped up. I thought when I was looking for a Jack scene, I think it popped up then. So I already knew, I just didn't know when it was going to happen, but I figured it'd be soon because we hadn't seen it yet. So, but I don't know, I thought too it would happen before the finale so we could see like how it happened, because that's just how why it seems so random, because it just kind of comes out of nowhere. So without any explanation of how it even started.
Right. Yeah, but I was just like,
Yeah, because like when did Jack even move back to Capeside? So
apparently within the 5 years.
yeah.
Well, not really, because you go to college for 4, and we've only seen 2 years of college.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're 25 now, so
Last 3 years.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also, why did he move back to Capeside?
I don't know.
Because he didn't necessarily like Capeside.
Right, and Jen's not there, so
And Andy's clearly not there, so why would you move back to Capeside?
yeah.
I don't get it.
It seems like you just stayed in Europe, but yeah.
Yeah, but Dawson doesn't even live there, Joey doesn't live there, so why would you move back?
Yeah, the only one there is Pacey. I don't know. I mean, they were close when they lived together, but I don't know. I guess he wanted to make a difference at the Capeside High.
I don't know. It's just kind of weird because I'm like, you hated Capeside.
Mm-hmm.
You were happy to move to Boston because it's a bigger city.
Mm-hmm.
And then you moved back to the same town that you kind of ran away from.
Right.
So it was really weird, but
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
How long has Jack and Doug been together?
I don't know. We just said maybe the last 3 years. So.
3 years.
Oh wait, no, I remember now. It was mentioned 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But like, Doug doesn't really want to be that affectionate, even though there's nobody around, and told him not ever call him honey. Or,
Yeah.
and then dude.
Dude.
Yeah, because he said the road was inserted.
Hmm.
And then
Oh, and then it was funny though because Doug goes, "Stop speeding
yeah,
and slow down." It was funny.
yeah. So they, agree about meeting for dinner later.
You know what's weird?
Yeah,
It's like, remember that episode that Doug threw them all in jail?
yeah,
You could get some comedy out of that, like years later,
mm-hmm.
telling people, "I threw my boyfriend in jail."
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So that's why it was funny that Jack joked about bringing the handcuffs.
But it was just so funny because I'm like, just when you think back
Mm-hmm.
to everything that's happened in
Yeah,
the show, you're just like, and then these two end up together, you're like, but it's pretty funny.
yeah,
Especially because like Doug was like, didn't really seem he really like he really liked the kids, but it didn't really seem like he liked anyone. So you know what I mean?
right.
So I don't know, it was just kind of, then all of a sudden he's with Jack.
Because I also just read that Pacey had opened his restaurant 6 months ago as well. So
So everything is 6 months.
yeah.
Well, that's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the whole friendship thing. Did the show start 6 months ago too?
Yeah. So we go to the ice house because Pacey reopened it apparently.
Why did he name it the Ice House?
I guess because it reminded him of Joey, I'm guessing. And he knows how much the restaurant meant to her before it burnt down. Yeah, because of her dad, of course, and he does joke about that too.
Yeah, later, but
Yeah.
that was funny.
But I thought it was funny how the kid that was bussing tables kind of looks like a younger Pacey. So at first I thought we were watching the show again.
No.
Yeah, but he's just a employee that works there. And his name is Corey. And he you can tell by the way he was acting that he looks up to Pacey. But then a woman walks into the restaurant and is asking Pacey about the menu design. But then after they step into his office, they start making out. So, and then she says that they have to keep their affair secret because she has a husband. So
Well, then doesn't she have kids?
I don't think so.
Because I thought she said she didn't want kids. Find out or something. I don't know.
I just remember she said husband women here. But yeah, so did you expect this to happen?
Well, I already knew it was coming, but the first time around, no. But I don't care.
Yeah, he's just like kind of filling a void, probably.
Yeah.
And then at Capeside High, a student is reading a poem to the class, Jack's class, who's sitting in the seat that he was in. And then the student stops and asks if he has to keep reading it because the poem sounds like a guy talking about another guy.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was Jack's poem.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh my god, because when he was like talking, I was like, was that Jack's poem from back in the day?
Yeah, I thought maybe he was like using it as a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it was somebody else who lived like 150 years, like in the past. I don't think that did they met because he said the poem got Whitman fired from his job. Was that the teacher before that Jack had? Or that different teacher that he's talking about?
I don't remember that. I don't remember the name. I mean,
Yeah, so I don't know, but because if they would have mentioned the poem like title or author, I would have looked it up to get more information. But it was just that it was written 150 years prior. So, but yeah, but he was using it as a lesson about like someone who felt like an outcast most of their life, but loved their country and freedom was stood for. And then at this point, Jen had already been standing in the doorway watching Jack's class. And then after the class is dismissed, that's when he finally sees her. And that's when she brings in her daughter in her stroller. Did you expect that the first time either?
the first time, no. I didn't think any of them would have kids
Right.
like on the show.
Again, I only did because I saw the title of that book too.
Okay, but if you didn't see the title,
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it either.
yeah.
What I was more surprised about was that she didn't say what boyfriend. I'm guessing
I know.
boyfriend she met in New York. Maybe I guess her and CJ broke up for some reason, even though they were both living in New York. No, because she moved there for Grams. But she said the boyfriend ditched her after she got pregnant, so I did some other guy because I can't see
CJ doing
yeah,
that.
exactly. So,
So this is what I have a problem with.
mm-hmm.
You're in the finale.
Mm-hmm.
This is the finale.
Yeah.
It's not just a series ending, or like the season. It's the whole show.
Right.
She has a random boyfriend that got her pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
There's no name, I need information.
Right.
I need to know who this is. I need to know what happened to her and CJ. Especially because it seemed like they were strong and this was it.
Yeah.
And now, in my finale, I don't want this.
Mm-hmm.
Where I still have questions.
Right.
I want a show to watch it and it wraps every question I've ever had up. To me, that is the perfect season finale.
Yeah.
Because, you'll never get those answers.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be able to complete a show and be like, that was great. This is why I love certain shows because they wrap everything up. Everything's answered the way it should be. And that's it. But I don't know who this boyfriend is. I don't know when her and CJ broke up. I wanted, and if you have your character come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want her to have a baby with somebody that we knew.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I want too, is give us a name. And okay, you know who might have been perfect? Like if she had like a one night stand again with like Charlie and, he up and I don't know. It's just like somebody from the past. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we grew to know.
Mm-hmm.
Not just some person that we don't know.
Right.
That's what I don't want in my season finale.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have another season to explain to me why. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what I didn't like was, oh, okay. I'm supposed to go with this.
Right. Because Grandma, right, it's not a big thing, it's a small thing, but still annoying thing. Have you ever seen Baby Daddy? The
No.
ABC show? Well, at the very end, two characters got together after like a very long process of back and forth, or cause he liked her first, but she didn't like him till a lot later, and they finally had a baby, but they never mentioned the baby's name. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, even if it was like Junior of the dad, like something like that, I would have been fine with. But they just mentioned no name. It was a boy, but they mentioned no name. So I was like, that's stupid. But yeah, so just something like that bothered me. So just
Because you're
something
like,
small that they could have easily put in.
well, yeah, and it's so easy to throw in someone's name,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the baby daddy
Mhm.
of your child or the child's name.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Mhm.
I just want to know these things and I shouldn't have questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're like, because like in your head, like for that show, the show you're talking about, it's like in your head, you're like, oh, the perfect, you know, family is so and so, so and so, and so and so.
Yeah.
But you can't even create that family image because you don't know the kid's name.
Yeah.
Because think of some of the shows that we watch.
Mm-hmm.
You can go this one, like you
Mhm.
can complete the family name. You can complete
Yeah.
everything. It goes together.
Yeah.
I just need answers.
Yeah, it's almost as worse as when a show gets canceled before they have time to film a finale or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't like it though. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
but like for this one, it's like again and here's the thing too. You have 2 episodes now to make the ending. You mean to tell me you couldn't throw a 1 second or a 1 minute story of this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they probably could have if they took out a scene of the show.
Yeah, that'd have been perfect because there's so many of the show that you could have taken 1 minute. And the thing is, like, too, don't you think that the her friends would want to know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm guessing Jack knows, but yeah, the rest of them
Probably don't. Dawson
yeah.
probably doesn't. So it would have been a perfect thing for like Dawson and Jen to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just or Joey and Jen, just something because they don't see her.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably don't know her whole relationship story. And it would have been great to get some backside story on this, how this came about that
or like Graham's like I can imagine Graham's being really mad at the guy and she just brings it up, to Jen, like, looking at Amy and saying like I still can't believe so and so left you with her or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we have to make up a story.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can't believe, he was with you for
Whatever,
yeah, and he just like up and left.
Mm-hmm.
Or just some story.
Right.
It would have been, or if Grams would have went to like Dawson
Mm-hmm.
and complained about, because she didn't want to do it to Jen.
Yeah.
So instead she did it to someone else. Like, I can't believe he left her it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel right for the ending of the show.
Yeah.
Again, this would have been fine if we had another season and we could learn that story.
Yeah.
But there was nothing there to, this is it. This is all we have left. And this is the way you want to end it?
Right.
With no questions? Like, no questions answered with this part?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it did make sense that Jack is a grandfather.
Grandfather?
Yeah, you know what I mean, grandfather.
Wow, Jack is very
Yes,
old.
It just kind of reminded me, too, of this Gail, like I said before. Because they joked about...
I have no idea what that was. Okay.
They joked about having a kid together that night. So it's kind of like they ended up having a
kid.
So, they did both eventually, parent the same child. But, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I love that Jack is the godfather.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, who are you going to put at Dawson as the godfather?
Right, no. I could see maybe Pacey after that.
Well, yeah, because I think she was definitely closer to Pacey.
Yeah, because, then even when they had that moment, like, when Jen was scared, he's, like, trying to help, be funny with her, so.
Well, and I think Pacey and Jen had more of a friendship than Dawson and Jen. Like, Dawson and Jen, they were close when they were together, but then when they were broken up, they weren't close.
Right.
And then when they got back together again, it's Dawson and Jen, but then There's nothing after that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the one that she could actually be friends with outside of Jack is Pacey, because they've had those moments. We've seen them.
Yeah.
So I could believe Pacey would. And plus, I do believe if Jack wasn't in the picture, I do believe Pacey would step up.
Yeah, because he did say that him and her had Saturdays, together.
Well, especially because you know how he's trying to fill a void?
Yeah.
He could fill a void by being the parent to Jen's child. Like, I could see that.
Yeah, and I could see him, trying to do things right.
Differently than what he was. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I said he would make the perfect father back in season 4. Remember I said because they're like, oh, well, he's just like a child himself. But it's like, no, he is more mature, but he's also like, he knows what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows how to love someone.
Yeah.
And he would do that with a child. So I'm like, no, Pacey would be the perfect parent. It's like to give your child to. It's like, no, of course.
Yeah.
If it's not Jack, Pacey would be perfect.
Yeah.
But I was happy it was Jack because they really are so close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jack says that he says that, teachers are just traumatized students trying to erase whatever went wrong with their own high school experience. That's why he probably went back to Capeside. And then, they're going to meet later for dinner, or not dinner, drinks after dinner because he's having dinner with Doug.
Did you see what he said now?
About what?
Cynthia. He said, I have to have dinner with the sheriff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if somebody says I have to have dinner with Brittany, please don't have dinner with me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I don't want you to have to. Mm-hmm. It's the words. It's not I am having dinner with Doug or with the sheriff. It's I have to. That to me means you don't want to, and it's like a chore. So please don't. So Cynthia, if you ever feel you have, I have to see Brittany. It's like, no. I don't want you to use the word have to. It just makes your self-worth go way down. Mm-hmm. And Doug doesn't know it, but I just didn't. And again, this is the finale. Use right words. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Don't say you have to.
I think that's why he said sheriff, like, as if he, ordered him to have dinner with him, like a joke about him being the sheriff, like dating a sheriff, I think, maybe.
Yeah, but isn't it, too, like, where we learned in that scene that Doug is the sheriff? Because I don't think they said it before, did they?
I don't know.
That he's the sheriff. Because I was like, oh, Doug moved up. So Mr. Witter must have retired, and now Doug is the new sheriff. Because he was only just the cop.
No, I think it was mentioned because I did put he's sheriff now in my notes when they first meet on the road. Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh, well, maybe they're just trying to make a statement too, like, this is the sheriff, people.
Yeah. And so Jen says that after 6 months of him and Doug dating, they're like an old married couple. And Jack says, with the added part of saying they don't know each other. Mm-hmm. And then I thought Jack went too far as to call him a paranoid quasi-freak. But he's Jack's paranoid quasi-freak anyhow. And then Jen's staying at the B&B. And then they walk out before his next class.
Yeah, because he basically shoved the two of them out.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson gets... I call it Gail's house because it doesn't seem like, right to say it's Dawson's house anymore. Even though I think he lives there. It's hard to say. No, he'd be in California for a show.
Yeah, his show's in California.
So he went back to Capeside. Oh, yeah, Capeside.
His mom got married.
Right, yeah. And then that's when we see an older Lily come down. Because the last time we saw her was what? I don't even know. But she was a baby. And now she's about, 6 maybe? No. 7. Is she about 7 now?
Probably.
Yeah. And she wants to watch a DVD with Dawson. And then when Dawson goes into his room, we see that there's actually 2 different posters for his show. Which I was kind of surprised to see 2 of them.
Because it's that big of a hit.
Yeah. And then he picks up a picture of him and Joey. And that Pacey, oh my gosh, I can't talk.
Pacey.
Yeah, I can't talk. As usual. At Pacey's restaurant, he sees Joey walking up.
Oh my god.
And it's like slow-mo with her umbrella.
I love it.
And then he would.
Oh my god, first of all, Pacey, on point, looks great. I was waiting for the eye roll from you. Joey looks pretty, as usual.
And then he picks her up.
Yes, but oh my god, when he sees her, he just like lights up. Like, oh my god, my heart.
Yeah.
And yes, he like picks her up, like
Spins around.
yeah, and like I live and breathe, like you know, that's like oh my god. Yes, I love it.
And then they hug, but then after they pull away, Joey sees a Dawson standing in the doorway.
And then hey, it's like Dawson always has to ruin every moment, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of probably have like a flashback of when they got caught together as teenagers. But then a little bit later, Jack and Jen show up. Everybody hugs, and say hi to each other, and then they sit down. And then they're like going around reminiscing of things from their past. And Joey brings up the time she painted Jack the nude.
Well, first, when it was just Joey and Pacey.
Yeah.
He says to her, well, because she was like, oh, like she finally gets to see his place and stuff. And he was like, she was like, oh, you have your own restaurant or whatever. And he was like, mine, the bank, several family members.
Right.
I was like, but, okay, here's my thing. He lost all of his money, right? Because he wasn't very smart. And sent, put it all in there. Well, my thing is, would you give money to the restaurant to have like loan him money or whatever so that he could open up a restaurant when he wasn't so good with the money the first time around?
Right. Well, yeah. If they learned about that investment that he made, probably not. But I don't know if they were.
Well, he had this successful job where he could buy anything, and then all of a sudden he's living on Doug's couch, and then now he has 5 years later he has a restaurant. It's like, and then family members are also giving him money. What family members, first of all, that like you, because they all seem to not like you. And
it's like maybe Doug and Gretchen, I can see maybe.
Even
just a little bit of money.
Because I was just like, none of your family really liked you, and except for those two. And again, if they knew about your bad investment, why would they give you money?
Yeah, I'm guessing he must have went obviously back to work at a restaurant like he was before. Probably, maybe even like Gail gave him a job, just to help him out.
I don't know if Gail would.
No, I think
he did,
what?
invest poorly in her son's money.
I don't know. I think maybe she would have forgave him because he did make it up to Dawson by getting him the money back. So, and then so then they're reminiscing and
but they were taught. So Joey tells where Audrey is, right?
Yeah,
she's singing backup in a band.
Well, they said John Mayer.
Well, still, he still has a band. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, they were saying how she's dating someone that's like anti-Pacey, and how like this one is so sweet or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I have something to say about this. Pacey is freaking so sweet. We've talked about it.
And they also said he was boring. The new boyfriend was really boring, but really sweet.
Yes. But he's the anti-Pacey.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Pacey is the sweet one. Like, let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Like, no. That's why I didn't like it. I was like, oh. But I was like, no, Pacey's a sweet one. Didn't like that. And then Pacey jokes to Joey. This is where he jokes to her. about if your daddy hadn't burned the place down, it would still be yours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah, and Dawson said he couldn't write this stuff up if he tried.
Dawson could. He likes writing this stuff up.
Yeah. And then before that, about Jack, Jen added to about him being excited and sprouted. And then that's when Jack stopped her from finishing that sentence. And then Joey said she got a little more than she bargained for. And Jack says it's all good because it wasn't meant to be. And then adds that Dawson probably would have killed him for taking away his soulmate.
When Jack said that,
Mm-hmm. I was surprised he even knew that.
I busted out laughing. What?
The soulmate thing?
Everyone knows about the soulmate thing.
I thought it was only like the three of them, Pacey, Joey, and
No,
Dawson.
Jen knows.
And maybe Gail, yeah.
And I'm sure Jack knows. He's close with Joey.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's really annoying. I mean, plus Dawson writes it in every one of his movies and shows.
Mm-hmm.
Every script he has of them, it's she's my soulmate, and so Jack knows.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny.
Yeah, because I think Jen was drunk because she keeps going on about like how she de-virginized Dawson, and then that's when Jack says that they should probably go now.
And she just keeps talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's afraid that Jen might give out more info. And that's when he lifts Jen over his shoulder, which he's never done before, so I was surprised he did that.
It was cute.
Yeah, and then Jen says to the group, because now you can tell she's really drunk now because she said it so cheerful about, remember the time that her boyfriend knocked her up and left her to raise a baby on her own.
Mm-hmm.
And no one says anything, so Jack just says that they'll see them at the wedding. And then that's when Jen stops Jack to tell them, that they're the best friends she's ever had and she loves me so much. And then while laughing, she says, that's all, good night. And then Jack, walks out with her. But yeah. So I think at that point, too, obviously she said that because she knows she's dying, but they don't know yet, And then she's drunk, so it's hard not to be so, sentimental like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pacey says that he has to close up now, and
He's kicking them all out.
Yeah. And he asks if Joey needs a ride, but she says she's going to walk. Then Dawson says, "No, drag her," and she says that's okay because she's right down the block. And they say goodbye. She thanks Pacey and hugs him, and then he says, "It's a pleasure as always, darling."
Yeah, it was. But then he tells Dawson, he said, that girl that you cast as her doesn't hold a candle to her.
Right.
I was like, really? Okay there, Pacey.
Yeah, then Dawson says, but he nailed the casting for Pacey.
No.
Well, we didn't even see him.
Nobody can play Pacey better than Pacey.
Okay, yeah. And then, Pacey asks Dawson if he's happy. Dawson says yes.
Clearly Pacey's not.
Yeah.
And okay, so when Dawson kind of was like, you're not, and then Pacey was like, oh, like, you don't need to hear this, blah, 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 and just like shuts it down and like walks away. And I was just like, do you think he did that? Of like, he just still feels guilty. So he's like, I don't want my problems to ever be your problems. So, or like, why do you think he like shut him out like that?
I don't know, yeah, maybe.
Do you know what I mean? Because like, as the friend, wouldn't you want to know why your friend isn't happy? And clearly Dawson wants to know the look on his face. So it was weird because he's like, and it's like, you don't need to hear this. But I'm just like, but I think he does. He'd be the one and only person that would know because I think you have put the act on for everyone else, clearly.
Right.
So, and it just was weird. I was like, maybe he just doesn't want to be the problem again to Dawson. Like, I screwed you over a couple times, as you say. Yeah. So I don't want to make any more problems.
And then Jack is changing Jen's daughter's diaper, and the last time he checked, that wasn't on the list of godparent job requirements to change diapers. And then Jen is taking her meds nearby, and that's when Jack's having trouble with the baby, and it's funny because he asked Jen if she's always sad when she's naked. But then Jack finds a bottle of pills and asks Jen about what that is, and she said it's for grams.
Now, I have a think about that.
Yeah.
If you look at the bottle, it tells you whose name is on it.
Yeah, I know about that too.
And he looked at the bottle.
Yeah, so I don't know why he didn't see the different name there.
Mm-hmm. Not only do they have
different names,
different first names, but they got different last names.
Yeah.
So even if you don't, even if you glance, you're going to see a totally different name.
Yeah.
So I was like, that doesn't make any sense because he looked right at the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I was like, what?
Right.
I'm sorry, but even in 2008, they put names on the bottles.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't make any sense. And it's not like it was little name too.
Right.
They make them big.
Mm-hmm.
So that threw me off too because I was like, why isn't Jack questioning anything? Because he should just, it was just weird. You saw the bottle. It would have been one thing if he just picked them up and didn't look. I guess maybe that's what they should have told him. But instead, he looked at it.
Right.
So I was like, that was the mistake.
Yeah. And then, so Jen gives the excuse that they're grams and they're painkillers, and Jack's, concerned because he thought she's doing better. And that's when Jen said that looks can be deceiving. So that's the second,
hint for,
that she's sick, but nobody's picked up on it yet.
Well, she's not really giving hints, especially when we're talking about grams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, Jack is asking Jen, if she could survive without Amy. And
okay, I'm sorry. Did you like the name?
Not really. Didn't seem. I don't think I've ever been known anything. Never had Amy in school, at least in our class. So.
And it's weird because you look at the different generations of names, and it just didn't really feel like in 2008 people were naming their kids Amy.
Right.
Like Amy was our parents' generation and generations before. It wasn't anything in the 2000s.
Like the only Amy I can think of is from The Secret Life of American Teenagers.
Yeah, but that was on a show.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be Jen's real life.
Yeah.
It would have been one thing if she was named after somebody. Then I would be like, oh, okay. Like if it was Jen's mom, I guess, I don't know, or if it was Graham's real name or something, I could be like, okay,
or middle name, yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, I get why her name's Amy. But again, no indication on why you chose Amy.
Right.
Because we got an indication of why Lily is Lily, but we don't get why Amy's Amy. That was my other problem with this story was, why is her name Amy?
Right. Yeah. So if she could do this alone, raise her alone, and she said she did, but she doesn't feel that way anymore. And Jen said it's funny that she can't program her TiVo, but she can take care of a child. You know what TiVo is, right?
Yes, I do.
I'm just wondering because I forgot the name until it was mentioned here. Because it seemed like it wasn't even around that long. I never had one, but...
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, it seemed like it wasn't around that long. I mean, now we don't really record anything. We just stream everything, so there's nothing to really technically record. But when things are removed from streaming, then there's nowhere to watch them anymore, so you kind of wish for them, but yeah.
Well, and another thing about Jen being a mom. Out of all of the characters on the show, I feel Jen would be the one that would have a kid. So that part made sense that Jen does 5 years later have a baby, because I feel like Jen needed something that wasn't a relationship, and to kind of teach her what real love is. And I just feel like that is what she needed, was a baby, and clearly it was, because I think it changed her.
Yeah, and to, heal her own
trauma
inside her. She didn't have a relationship with her mom.
Right.
Unless it was something, like Graham's getting sick, but that was really it. And again, the mom's gone. We don't see her again, so she kind of moved somewhere. She said she's in Europe, so yeah, so she's not in the same country anymore as Jen, so.
Well, and you would think that your daughter had a baby, so you'd be around.
Yeah. So the mom doesn't care about Jen or her granddaughter.
Well, and your daughter's sick.
Yeah.
So again, if I had a daughter Like, if like I can't imagine why you wouldn't be there.
Do you think her mom even knows about her being sick?
Yeah, because when she was in the hospital, Graham said, "I gotta call her mother."
It seemed like that she like had to tell her the news of everything, not just the current update.
I don't know. I just felt like it was more of just the current update, like she's in the hospital and it's not like it's bad. But yeah, I was just like, why wouldn't you? Your daughter is a single mom, and you just again put her on Graham's shoulders, and Graham's is what, sick herself. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Who does that?
Yeah. And then Jack talks about why he even come back to Capeside after everything. Jen thinks that he's just frustrated with Doug about not coming out. And Jen just has to give him some time. And Jack's like, why should he be? He's not his father's boyfriend. It's back in the Stone Age.
Oh my God, that was funny.
Yeah.
The Stone Age, I was like, what? The stuff Jack's coming up with is really funny. Somehow he became the funny one.
Yeah, and then, Jack says what's going to be scared of, Jen says of what's real, it terrifies all of them. And, he did mention that Jen's the one that changed the most out of all of them, but she said she didn't go without kicking and screaming. So, just give him time, and Jack says Jen's white stage superpowers have increased since she became a mother. And that, he has to get her cape soon, and she says that he can be her little sidekick, a boy wonder. And then back at Dawson, he's staring at his laptop, not being able to write the ending when he hears someone climbing up the ladder at his window. And I guess he now is worried about his open window because he picks up his laptop, which you think he would not use that as a weapon. Because first of all, what can he even do with that besides giving him a bruise or maybe a headache at the most? And then second of all, that probably has all his work stuff on it. So if he hits it, at somebody, it might break, and then he's going to lose everything, and then he's going to be mad at himself.
That was actually my first thought, not the bruise. It was that's your show.
Yeah.
That's your work. That's what's paying you, and you're gonna ruin it.
Right, unless he has money to buy a new one and has backup and all that. But
well, and that's the thing is, I hope you got a flash drive because you're gonna just ruin everything.
Right, but of course it ends up being Joey, and he gets scared a little bit.
Oh, he scared me. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
And Joey trips because she says that it's not easy as it once was.
Because apparently she's really old.
Yeah, 25. And she just says she was walking to the B&B, but decided to keep walking. And then she goes on about how Capeside has a McDonald's, how they've been invaded, and Dawson says they're only one Old Navy away from being destroyed. Which is funny because we've had those places forever, but did you know that we're getting a new Starbucks and Popeyes?
Did you know we're getting a Wingstop?
Where? You don't have to keep that in.
What?
I said where, you don't have to keep that in when you say it.
We're keeping it in.
Oh, well.
It's next to Panda Express.
What's there right now?
Oh. Well, it's, I don't know, there's a few places in it. Like a...
Is it, it's going to be replacing something, isn't it?
I don't think anything's in there right now. But it's been all over Facebook.
I don't know that place. It's just a wing place, right?
Wingstop?
Yeah, what is that?
Girl.
I don't know.
Wingstop is amazing. I would have it in Florida, and then I would have to come back here. And the only thing you can get around here is Buffalo Wild Wings, and nothing against Buffalo Wild Wings, but they don't have the wings that Wingstop has. And so the fact that we're getting Wingstop, hello. Yeah, and so that's been going around as how we're getting a Wingstop. It's amazing.
Is it could be next door to it? to because it's gonna be right between KFC and Panda, right? In that little what do you call it? What they call it, the building with multiple.
Yeah, because it's the end one next to Panda.
Oh, so it's telling me it's like a smoke place right now.
And my thing is, it's annoying me because it doesn't.
Be small.
It doesn't say. It doesn't say when it's opening.
Right.
So it's really annoying. And it's weird because the other day I went to Panda.
Mm-hmm.
How did I not know Wingstop was right there? I mean, I know it's not open, but the fact that I had like my sister-in-law was the one that shared it in our group text, and I was like, "What? Like I was just at Panda. How did I not know that Wingstop?"
Yeah, Brittany just dropped your notebook, but
yeah, I'm thinking about Wingstop.
yeah, because also so that Starbucks that we're getting is replacing Burger King. I didn't know that closed.
Wait, what? Say that again.
Our new Starbucks is going to be replacing the Burger King we had. Knowing that closed last year, I didn't even know about. Burger King.
Where's that at?
I don't even know, but top of my head. But nobody was there anyhow, so I'm not surprised. It was like really dead by the end.
I don't know where.
And then the movie theater by the mall closed down.
Thank God.
Well, it wasn't that bad, but it could have been better than it was.
Oh no. Well, here's the thing: is once they opened the new one, I really didn't know how they were going to survive, and because it's not like anything's in the mall to attract you to then go to the movies. So it was only a matter of time. Plus, anytime I would go by, there was only like a couple cars, and I'm like, there's no way they can keep it going.
Right.
And plus, the last time I was in there was long time ago, years. It was so filthy. Like you would walk around and your feet would stick to the ground. It was so bad. And so that's why I was so happy that they opened the new one.
Yeah.
That I worked at. And it was so much better.
Yeah, because it was the mall name and then AMC took over. So the mall one, I'm guessing, already died from the new one. But AMC figured they could, I guess, rebuild it, but then they just kind of made it worse. It's like they never even use all the lights, like when you walk down.
See, you went to the old one then, right?
Yeah.
To that one that just closed?
Yeah.
I didn't. It was too bad for me.
Yeah, well, when AMC took over, they didn't have the lights on when you walk down the hallway to go to the movie theater, whatever number it was. So it was dark. And as someone who's like horror movies, that was creepy. Even if I wasn't going to see a horror movie, that probably just wouldn't help anyhow. But anyways, and then do you remember how they used to have like the names of the movies on the signs, like right at before the ceiling? I was like high up, the name of the movie that was playing. Okay, well, and that lit up too, but they took those down. So in order to find your movie, you either had to know exactly what numbers were where.
It wasn't on your ticket?
It was, but like you weren't directed to where the theater was. So one of the last times I went one way and had to go back the other way because it wasn't down the one way I went. So I wouldn't know where my movie was until I got to the actual door of the theater. And the number wasn't there until you were right at the door, so there was no directions.
Do you remember how bad the other one was?
Well, there was towels missing too in the theaters from the floor that they never fixed.
That's because they couldn't afford it.
I know, that's why I was like, how are they even open? But now that proves that they can't. So.
But do you remember before they built the new theater?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the old one?
Yes.
Right next door. I hated that one too.
Yeah, it was kind of small.
First of all, it was so packed every time you went.
Yeah.
Then on top of it, my memory is like the concession stand was in the middle.
Yeah, it was.
And everybody was in your way. It's like you're trying to get to your movie, and it's like then you're trying to figure out where your movie's at, and it's like, people, get out of my way.
Yeah, I don't know why they designed it like that because people are gonna hover around the whole center, the whole place. So.
And then was there 2 concessions, or I don't know, because
it was like a big circle kind of.
And it just was weird. And I just remember like everybody was always in the way, and there was always so many people, and so that's why when they built the new one and they made the concession right there, big wide open,
In the back,
and then on the sides was all the theaters, and they numbered them really big so you can see. It just was so much better that way. But the way that they did that,
like the theaters are nice and big.
well, you know, I was thinking, because Capeside has probably a couple stores.
Yeah.
And I think that, and then it's sad to drive around our town, because Little Caesars is no longer there. Dollar store sold.
Wait, when you saw it, that was just closing.
Yeah, but they sold it.
Ooh. Like a whole different store, not another dollar store.
I don't know if it's gonna be the dollar store.
And then
but
what else just came to my head?
No, but like in that section, really the only section we have. You know how many closed places we have right there?
Yeah.
Next to the dollar store. There has been, through our life, there has been so many places that have tried it and didn't make it. And I was thinking, why? Why is it like a town like Capeside? And there are towns that work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just saying because Capeside is a TV show. There are towns that are small towns that have shops because they work. But I was thinking the reason why it doesn't work for us is because you can go right over there onto the busy road.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And you can get anything you want. You can get all the fast food you want. You can get all the big restaurants you want. And you can get all the shopping you want.
Yeah, so we just live too close next to each other.
Yep. Because you can go an extra 5 minutes and go to Walmart instead of right here at like Save-A-Lot.
Right.
It's like you can just go the extra, couple miles and you hit everything you want.
Rite Aid is also closing.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all of them, yeah.
So I'm just like, it's sad because I think that's the reason why those places didn't work.
Right.
Because, again, I think because we're in a town, but I don't know how to explain our situation.
We're a small town next to a big town.
Next to what? A big city?
Well, I wouldn't really
I guess it's a township,
city,
but yeah. So yeah, it sucks because for us, stores don't make it.
Right, like we have a cafe there now, but I don't know how long that's gonna last.
What cafe?
By the family that's been here forever. Starts with a B. It's like their main cafe.
Oh.
That's where Little Caesars used to be.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's my thing is, people need to support their town.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way they're going to make it. And so it's like, yeah, people need to. So somebody posted a couple days ago, what's the best pizza place around? And people were coming up with all these places, right?
We only have like what, 2?
No, I mean people were coming up with like the big chains.
Oh.
But like Jets and stuff. But people were bringing up smaller places, like the one you just said, the family one. And I was so happy that they were bringing up small family businesses because that is what people need to go and support. Not Little Caesars, not Jets. Save those for the big cities. You need to support your town.
Yeah, Dawson and Joey just kind of catch up with each other. That was just the same.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that's when Pacey's locking up his restaurant at night. And after his employees walk away, a man walks up and turns out to be the husband of the woman that he's seen.
Yeah, so when that happens, did you think he was going to get away?
Yeah, until the other 3 men walked out. Or 2, how many there were?
There were so many. They're coming out at every angle.
And then, yes, they do end up beating him a lot.
Did you think he was gonna die?
I don't know, anything's possible,
Or
I guess.
end up in the hospital?
Yeah, probably next gen.
Well, if there's that many,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not one-on-one fight,
Right.
then yeah, I would think you would be in the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I guess it was only the one guy because Pacey walked away apparently with only a black eye somehow. You think he would have internal bleeding or something else, but... At first, Pacey was going to let the guy hit him because he reserved it until the other guys came out.
Yeah, then he says, well, I'm drunk.
Yeah, so you can take me on you.
Well, because at first he's like, okay, dude, take your best shot.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, God, like, Pacey, why do you always get yourself in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop with the older people and then stop with married people.
Yeah.
Well, this is only his first time with a married person, though, right?
Yeah, as far as we know. Well, no, actually, there was, what's her name?
Oh.
That's a fiance, or her name. It starts with S-A-D-I-A,
Huh?
Sadia, there you go. From work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was engaged, but yeah. So I guess it wasn't too out of pocket for him, but still, yeah. Then Dawson and Joey just kind of talk about, her life and how she met Chris, from editing, and she said that they bickered so much and argued that they naturally started dating, and they've been fighting ever since. So it kind of sounds like the same with Eddie, how she met him and dated him. And then Joy couldn't even answer if it was serious or not. She just doesn't know what's going to happen. And then Dawson catches her up saying like he's committed to his show, so he's not seeing anybody. And like he wonders what he's doing because he wanted to be at Spielberg, and Joey tells him that his dreams aren't perfect, they come true, not free.
See, he thought right out of high school he was going to be Spielberg.
Right.
Like, he's only 25.
Mm-hmm.
You still have a long way to go.
Yeah. And that's when Dawson tells Joey just to sleep over.
Well, at first he was, I think he played that one, like, really on purpose. Like, he was like, oh, I'll take you home. Oh. He stands up. Oh, no, I'm too tired. I'm like, really? And then he goes, just sleep here. I'm like, no.
Well, I know, I saw his innocent and kind of call back to the pilot when they were.
But they're 25.
I know, but if it wasn't weird then, it shouldn't be weird now.
They're 25. They're 25 and she has a boyfriend.
Yeah, well.
And my other thing is, does her boyfriend know about Dawson? Probably not. So she shouldn't be in bed with Dawson. It might be innocent, but not to her boyfriend it wouldn't be. Yeah. Not to any boyfriend it wouldn't be. Mm-hmm. So, no. If she was single, whatever. But she's not. So until she breaks up with that boyfriend or he breaks up with her, she should not be in bed for any reason with Dawson. Mm-hmm. Without telling him.
Yeah.
But again, here you go with the bed thing. Like, he's always forcing her kind of to, like, sleep in the same bed. Like, remember last time she wanted to go and he was like, no, just spend the night. And it's like...
Oh, I didn't really say this was a force. She could have easily went, but...
She could have, but he's always just sort of like, oh, no, just here's the bed. And it's like, oh, my God. Like, it's annoying.
And then we come back to the next scene where Joey and Dawson are kind of getting married. It was hard to tell if this was real or not for a minute.
Oh, you thought it was real?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're getting married.
I thought there was another time jump somewhere.
That would be choppy.
Yeah, but I knew it was a dream when they started going into a lot of detail about what happened between them. Jack realizing he's gay, her dad, being turned in for trafficking cocaine, like that stuff that they wouldn't say out loud for everybody.
Well, in their vows.
Yeah. And then, but they do end up kissing, saying I do, and then that's when when they turn to face everyone, the actors who play Joey and Dawson for the show are shown in their place instead. We hear a cut, and this is when Dawson wakes up. So it's like he was filming his own wedding and his show of Joey and Dawson's wedding, but then his own show and his dream. So then he wakes up, he realizes Joey's gone. He left a note on his pillow next to him
So-
that says, "See you later."
I was like, oh, there it is. She's
Mhm.
always leaving notes all of a sudden.
And then Jack and Doug are jogging, and Jack says that he. Oh, yeah, that's Doug said that, right? Doug said that he booked them that room so they can go out of town, right?
Yeah, whatever, so they're hidden.
Yeah.
But again, here's with the, because it's post Will and Grace world.
Mhm.
And I was like, here we go again with the Will and Grace.
Mhm. Right, because I think one or two of the characters on there were gay. Because you haven't seen that show, have you?
No.
Yeah, neither have I. Jack says he appreciates it, but he's not sure if they need another week away from Capeside. And, Doug says to Jack that he knew that when they started seeing each other, that he wasn't ready to be out all to Capeside. And even though it's been 6 months, Jack points out that, Doug's family knows and they have no problem with it. Though I can't imagine their dad, what's his name, being okay with it, but Pacey couldn't be happier. And Jack says that Pacey loves him, so does he. And how many weekends are there to go away before they can be together like a normal couple? It's like having an affair, but neither one of them is married.
How did you like when they brought up the F word?
I was trying to think in 2005.
2005.
I mean 2008. Yeah. If that was just because I don't remember. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it was allowed on TV at that time because it was used a lot in the 80s. But I think at this point, 2008, it wasn't allowed anymore on air.
Yeah, but this was filmed in 2003.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to jump, scare me confused. Well, in 2003 either, I'm sure. But they could have gotten special permission to use it for just for the script of it all, the characters and everything, and the plot line here. But yeah, because like Doug kind of makes Jack feel bad, like not everyone could have been gay at 15, but Jack reminds him that he was. He just hasn't stopped hating himself for it.
Yeah, when he said that though, because he was like, you were at 15.
Yeah.
You just haven't stopped hating yourself. I was like,
Mhm.
that's true. I mean, I do feel like that. Like, Doug hates himself for being gay.
Mhm.
But I think Jack did the same thing.
Yeah.
Remember, he didn't want to admit it. He wanted to hide it the rest of his life instead of just admit it. And then when he did, he was still sort of upset about it.
Mhm.
And he went through the same thing.
Yeah.
So I do. So as much as I didn't like Doug saying all that about Jack,
Mhm.
it's like, but Jack also was that person too that didn't like it.
Mhm.
So you should give him a little grace, but also how long are you gonna wait?
Right. Yeah.
Which is why some guys didn't work for Jack because they were like, no, you need time,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna waste that time,
Right.
and I'm not waiting for you.
Mhm.
And again, so when Jack's like, oh, how long do I have to wait? It's like, it's your choice.
Mhm.
If you don't want to wait, then be done with him.
Yeah.
But if you really like him, then you're gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
It's sort of that thing.
Yeah, I've been through this too in my relationship, but the difference is I waited for a good 2 years and I saw nothing was going to change, so that's ultimately why I ended it. But because like how much older is Doug than Jack? Isn't it like 8 years or something?
Mm.
Because I think in the first season when he was flirting with Miss Jacobs, Doug said that he was like 24. I think in Pacey is about 15, so maybe even 9 years. But Jack's the same age as Pacey at least. But nonetheless, like 8, 9 years. So that means too, like Doug's even had more time.
Well, he's in his 30s.
To deal with this. And I feel like the 2000s is when things were starting to finally come around for the majority of the population when it comes to this. But and then I guess with small towns too, I guess it's different. It's more conservative maybe, but yeah. So it's really up to Doug and what he wants to do and what Jack and he wants to do. Like, Jack can't force him to come out, but at the same time, it's like, it does get hard after a while having to hide your relationship from everybody, at least, from, like Doug's family, or not Doug's family because he gets it, but, like that, people in his life,
Mm-hmm.
and then be open about it, the Jack side thing. So it's just kind of weird how everything's opposite on those ends. But yeah, so I get like Doug's frustration of it, but then I get Jack's too because I was Jack. So, and then Gail and her new husband, who we never really see,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
just from a distance, like don't even know his name, but they cut their cake, everyone claps. Dawson hugs his mom and says he's happy for her, and even Mitch would be too.
Let's not go that far.
Right, yeah. I'm not. I mean, I feel like he would want her to move on, but at the same time, maybe not, just because she already kind of like moved on with what's his name.
When he was alive.
Yeah, when at work with her coworker.
Well, so we knew she wasn't gonna stay single forever, even though I'm sorry, but on TV shows you do want the person to stay single forever.
Yeah.
Well, because here's the thing, like people are like, oh, like on Grey's Anatomy, that's a perfect example. They're like, well, why do you want Meredith to stay? Because like I think it's like the actress is like, no, like she should move on. It's like, no, she shouldn't. But the fans don't want that. Okay, they're gonna get mad with whoever she's with because she should be with Derek. Like it's that thing. And people were doing the same thing, I think, with like Joe's character. No, Alex, and she goes, but he left. Like the actress is like, but he left, and it's like, but you're not understanding. Fans, once they get hooked to a character or a couple, they don't want you to split.
Yeah.
So even if the other person leaves, they feel you should be single because they don't want to see you with somebody else. So yes, in real life, would you want somebody to move on? Yes, but not on TV. You don't. And guess what? This is still TV, so we don't want to see it.
Yeah. And then
well, and especially Gail. She said how many she had that one boyfriend right after he passed. Remember, Lily was her first birthday, and he already was at the party. It's like, dang. So Gail moves on fast.
Yeah. And then at the wedding, Pacey's standing with his shades because of his black eye. When the woman that he was having an affair with is there for some reason, and she mouths something to him, but I couldn't tell what she was saying. Could you?
Nope.
Yeah. So she's like kind
of. Oh, I think she was like saying like later.
Oh.
You know how she did, earlier.
Yeah, but she's basically, I don't know, I'm pretty sure she doesn't know Gail, unless she knows the groom. We don't know that because anything's possible.
But maybe because she designs the menus. Maybe she did the Learys.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe she knows Gail, and then maybe they became friends after or something.
Maybe, yeah. And then Jen is alone taking her meds when Pacey walks up, and Jen gives the excuse now that a better excuse she probably should have said to Jack about her having anxiety and they help, from being a mother. And then that's when Pacey asks if she minds sharing because he could use it today and takes off his glasses to show his bruised face. And that woman is still looking at Pacey while he's like with everybody, especially the girls.
She's really obsessed. It's annoying.
Yeah. And then they're still dancing. Pacey and Joey are still dancing when Joey asks if he's going to tell her about, his bruised eye, or is she going to actually assume that he beat up the priest before the ceremony? And he says mistakes were made, so he's not going into it. Which is no surprise, because why would he with Joey? And then that's when Pacey says that he forgot how much he has fun with her. And
why would he when he knows the person he should be with is her?
Right.
And this one is just a filler. So it's like, I don't really care about her. So why would I tell you? I would only tell you if I cared.
Yeah,
but I don't.
But how would you feel if you're Joey and you found out he was having this affair so, current?
Well, given how she really doesn't care, it's not like she says to stop or anything. When she finds out, she says, oh, some things never change or whatever. And it's just like, so she's just used to it.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know, she doesn't seem too sure about Chris either, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but then again, why is she with him?
I don't know, she didn't really care about when he got with Audrey either, so I don't know, she just handles it better, I guess, than Pacey does. About her moving on. Yeah, and then Jen and Dawson walk over and Jen tells them to switch because Dawson won't let her lead. And then they do switch. And Dawson mentions to Joey how she left in a hurry. And Joey just says she has to get ready for the wedding, but it didn't seem like that was the real reason. But plus, she says he was snoring and the deja vu thing was hard to take. Like having an acid flashback without all the colors. Now that she's actually done acid, she says. But it's funny how she keeps comparing Dawson to things that extreme, that dangerous, like before the comparison. And then Dawson notices that she's nervous because she's rambling. But he's glad she's nervous. And then Joey asks if it's Rag on Joey Potter Day.
I was just happy when she went back to Pacey.
Yeah, well,
Dawson, dancing.
Yeah, Dawson just says that he likes it. She still makes her nervous, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looks like they're about to kiss when Jen came back and says that Pacey keeps stepping on her toes.
I didn't know.
Switch again.
I didn't think it didn't look like it.
Not like that was the reason.
No, that they were gonna kiss.
Oh, to me it did, yeah.
Okay, so when they get back, when they switch partners again.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice though that the only scenes they were focused on was Joey's?
Mm-hmm.
Joey danced with Pacey, and then Joey danced with Dawson, and the camera was on them, and then it was never on Jen and who she was dancing with.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this is why it should have been called Joey's Creek. But anyway, so when she gets back to Pacey, then she was like, no woman keeps staring at me.
Yeah.
And so then, well, then that's when he says, because she was like, oh, still breaking hearts, and he's like, yeah, her heart, my jaw.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, there was how many guys that attacked you, and you're still walking, and you're still talking?
Right, yeah, like I was saying before.
Like, I'm sorry, but they looked like they were going to really beat you up, especially because they did the one punch, and then, it looked like it was going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, like, if that's true, you would still be lying in bed, like, half dead.
Right.
You wouldn't be walking like you are normal and just have some shades on because you only have a little bruise on your face. Like, no. And you're talking, I'm sure you wouldn't be talking. Your jaw would be broke.
Yeah.
I was like, so that made no sense that he's just, the next morning, he's fine to go to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Someone should have found him lying outside the restaurant.
Right, and then he fell on top of a table too, and it broke under him. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anything? Yeah, you'd have more bruises. Think about like if you trip or something, you're like, oh my god. And then you got bruises, and you're like in pain the next day. And that's just if you trip. Could you imagine if you got beat up?
Right.
You would really not be walking. Like he should have been like walking like this. Like you literally got beat up, but he's not. I was like, this is weird.
Mm-hmm. And then, Pacey asks Joey if she can help him get out of there. And
then they kiss.
Yeah, but he even dips her over.
Oh my god, I loved it.
Mm-hmm. And the woman still watches the whole time and is there after.
She's so annoying because she's so married and she's so addicted to him.
Mm-hmm. And then after a moment, then she leaves. Pacey thanks Joey and kisses her on the cheek.
And Joey's just like, oh my god, this was amazing.
Yeah, she's in a daze. And then that's when Dawson knows Jen because she collapsed on the floor when they were dancing and passed out. Jack runs over right away, and then Grams walks over.
And then that's what ruins Pacey and Joey's moment.
Yeah. And then, Grams says to get Jen's bag.
And call 911.
Yeah, and apparently, Pacey points out that he just saw Jen take her meds, so Grams knows that something's wrong because that shouldn't be happening, and she did. And everybody's just surrounded looking at her.
Well, yeah, they thought she was normal. Nothing was wrong with her.
And then that's when Grams admits that it's Jen's heart. And then the hospital, a little bit later, Jen's there, and everybody's in the waiting room, and Dawson says it's been hours and nobody's said anything yet. And Grams says they're monitoring her vitals were compromised and need to confirm with the New York doctors before they can tell them anything. And Joey asks what's wrong. Grams says it's a small problem that's been there all along. They didn't know until she got pregnant, but there's an abnormality in her heart, but it's nothing serious. She'll just be more embarrassed than anything when she wakes up. So it's kind of crazy how things can be missed, apparently, when somebody's born or later on throughout their life. Something like that can be, looked over, missed. Because the abnormality of the heart's like a pretty big issue. Because I've had some things that are looked over, like something that should have been one of the first things. None of my doctors knew I was legally blind in my left eye until I said something about it. So things like that were missed. But it's kind of crazy how if Jen never had gotten pregnant, then who knows how long that, her heart would have been still going without any, awareness of it. So she could have
died sooner.
Yeah, and then it'd be even more of a shocker for nobody to know anything,
Well, and the meds probably helped her live a little bit longer. So if she didn't have that, she would have died sooner.
Yeah. And then that's when the doctor walks over to Graham's.
Well, and it's weird how Grams just keeps like downplaying it, like it's not bad, nothing's wrong, but it's like there it is, and she's clearly dying, but no one's saying it.
Yeah. Well, they don't think they knew anything at this moment yet until a little bit later.
Well, yeah, but Jen keeps hinting that she's dying.
I don't know. Maybe she can sense it or something. Sometimes maybe people can just sense when it's their time. I don't know. But Pacey's asking questions. This sounds serious to him. And Graham says that she's stable now. She thinks it's been a heart palpitation caused by her medication, which is kind of scary because you think any medication that she would have would do the exact opposite of that. But they don't know anything more for now. There's not much else to be done right now. And Graham tells everyone to go home. Dawson asks if Jen's going to be okay. And Graham says, of course she is. And that's when she has to call her daughter, Jen's mom, to update her.
This is, again, why I feel like that Jen's mom knows.
And then in the car, Joey, Dawson, and Pacey.
Oh, yeah. How did you like when they bring up the love triangle?
Yeah, well, I was surprised they did because I thought, that was kind of done for at least at the moment. I mean, it has been, but I didn't think
well,
it'd be brought up.
And I thought it was because for like Dawson's sake, the fact that they're teasing the love triangle.
Yeah.
Dawson is the person that doesn't let it go, so it was weird that Dawson's like participating in this. And then Joey gets the call from Chris. And then Dawson says, so the triangle becomes a square.
Yeah.
Pacey's like, good one. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want the three of them to be. But at the same time, it's like, I can't believe Dawson got over this. Again, there's no indication on how. How he is hanging out with Pacey and I wish there was just like a conversation or something in passing of what happened. Just some things need to be explained.
Yeah. And then this is a scene where nothing's said, but it seems obvious that this is when Graham finds out that now Jen definitely is dying and there's nothing to do about it, to help her. So, because she comes out crying and she's too upset to speak, so she just hugs Jack. And then
well, and I think maybe too when Jen went to her doctor's appointments, maybe they told her it was bad, and she just didn't tell Grams.
Yeah.
Because Grams was probably home with the baby, so Jen knew she was dying, but she couldn't get the nerve to tell Grams until the doctors told her.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it was too. Was Jen knew, but she just didn't want to tell anybody, including Grams.
Yeah, like how Grams was with her cancer.
Right. So I think that's probably what it was. Why Grams didn't know.
And then sometime later, Jack walks into Jen's room, and apparently he's there after visiting hours. But he says that he flirted with the nurse to get in. Apparently it was a male nurse. And then Jen's trying to ask more questions about the nurse, but Jack changes the subject, saying, he would have loved to engage in their meaningless, God-humored good humored. Jack and Jen, and then again with the F word / tag banter. But since she's lying in the hospital, hooked up to machines, why didn't she tell him? Because he thought he was her best friend, and Jen says she didn't want him to be worried. And that if she just pretended, it didn't exist, it would go away. But you think that she, would know better than that, but Jen just says she likes their meaningless banter, and she was scared she said out loud would be true.
So I get why Jen doesn't want to tell everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the respectful thing is to tell everyone so they have time to say goodbye to you. Mm-hmm. They have time to think of everything they've ever wanted to say to you. Mm-hmm. Because it's hard when someone passes and you don't get to say those things. It's a regret on the person living.
Yeah.
So, it's a little selfish that she doesn't want to tell everyone. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That she didn't want them to know. Yeah. So she was going to just die and then they would read her obit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's just not nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she didn't tell Jack. And because Amy would have to be a subject to bring up too, who's going to take care of her.
Well, yeah, and if he's the godfather, it's like you would think you'd have a conversation with him.
Yeah. Yeah, so he says...
Even if there's a chance I might die, mm-hmm. Even if you are, mm-hmm. you could hint it to him. Yeah. But, I don't know. I just didn't like that she didn't tell Jack, especially him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he says he could have handled it and helped her handle it. And that's when Jen now does ask if he can help her.
Well, and I think he would have been a good support system through mm-hmm. this whole thing.
Yeah.
Especially if she needs a downtime to just rest, mm-hmm. he would be there to take care of her daughter. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing, too. So I just didn't like that she was trying to do it on her own.
Right. Yeah, that's when she explained she has a decreased left ventricle systolic function. It's still a lot of blood that's not pumping to the right side of her heart. It's causing problems to her lungs as well. So she has pulmonary congestion. It's part of all of that, right? And Jack says, what about treatment? And Jen says, there's nothing.
Well, yeah, and he goes, what about a specialist? And she goes, I've already done that.
And, she thought she could make it to Capeside and back in 1 month. And Jack's crying now, and Jen says she's going to be okay with this, but she can't do it alone anymore. And then Jack tells her that he's there for her, will do anything she wants him to do. And last when Jen just has to get in bed with her, tell her about the cute nurse and make her forget everything she just told him, so he does that. And she holds him as he cries. And then he explains that the nurse is named Max and has a goatee. And Jen says they can work with that. And then later that night, Jack makes his way to everybody to tell them about Jen. Jen thought was really, a big thing, like a big responsibility, Because Jen kind of saved at the last second, so he has to be the one to get the bad news to everybody. So I know that took a lot of strength too. So he goes to Pacey's restaurant first, and then to the B&B to tell Joey and Bess, and then he calls Dawson and tells him, and then at the end, Jen and Grams are with Amy, and then Joey goes to see Dawson and texts him after hearing about Jen, and that was it.
All right, and that's the episode of part 1.
Yeah.
All right, so for me,
mm-hmm.
my high was, I guess, everybody back in Capeside. Mm-hmm. My low was finding out about Jen mm-hmm. and Pacey getting beat up. What about you?
Yeah, my low was about finding out about Jen dying, and then the high is just everybody coming back together, and they did have a nice moment at the wedding before Jen fainted. So.
Oh, and my other high was Pacey and Joey at the restaurant mm-hmm. hugging, and then Pacey and Joey kissing mm-hmm. at the wedding. I missed that part.
Mm-hmm. And then rating?
I would rate this an 8.
Yeah, me too.
I had to think. I was like, do I want to go higher than I want? Mm-hmm. Just because it's the finale.
Yeah. And then worst and best?
You go first.
The worst is the woman that Pacey was having an affair with because she was being creepy, like stalking him at the wedding. And then the backstage chat, because, once he found out about Jen, he right away, took over his role as like best friend and godparent of Amy and did what he had to do by telling everybody else, what's going on with her and nurse.
For me, the worst was Doug.
Mm.
I didn't like what he was saying to Jack.
Yeah.
Like, don't, just because you're having a hard time coming out doesn't mean you gotta put it on somebody else.
Yeah, because the way he used the F word at Jack wasn't nice.
Yeah, it's like, I'd break up with you too.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And so he's the worst. The best for me, I picked Jen because she, because she, I mean, think about it. She's dying. She knows she is.
Mm-hmm.
And she came to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're dying, I don't feel like you'd have the energy to come, but she wanted to come and be there for Gail when she got married and see everybody. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just sort of be there for like happy moments. Because again, she has a reason why she doesn't have to come to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just feel like she was kind of like the best one out of all of them. Because she was still kind of just being there for people. So,
Mm-hmm.
in her own Jen-like way.
Mm-hmm.
And make them the humor.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for the other ones. Well, Pacey, he's definitely not the best. He's sleeping with a married woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the next episode?
It's continuation from this one. Because this one was all good things, ... and the last one is ... must come to an end.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you next time.
Yep, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.